Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the theatre. President of Islamic Religious Council of Singapore, Haji Muhammad Alami Musa, Sahibus Samaha, Mufti of Singapore, Dr. Muhammad Fatris Bakaram, honorable leaders of the various faith communities, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I begin with the greeting of peace to one and all, and a very good evening. As the Master of Ceremony, I warmly welcome you to the Singapore Islamic Hub for the inaugural Abdul Alim Siddiqui Memorial Lecture. The Memorial Lecture is a significant event to bring interfaith leaders and activists together to engage in issues of interfaith that can bond us closer and contribute to the harmonious interreligious life in our multi-religious, multi-ethnic Singapore. To further illuminate us on this program, I would like to invite President of MUIS, Haji Muhammad Alami Musa, to the stage. Sir.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Sahibus Sama Mufti, Dr. Fatris Bakaram, respected religious leaders, community leaders, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good evening to each and every one of you. I hope all of you had, for those who attended the dinner just now, you had a good time. I hope you were not rushed to finishing your food. I'm not sure what I ate because it was a bit rushed. We had the time with the president, and president had to leave at a certain time, so we had to pace our eating, speed up and things like that. Yeah. Thank you very much for coming to the Singapore Islamic Hub, to MUIS. For those who are here the first time, big welcome to you. This is where MUIS head office is. This is where we operate from. And it's a complex by itself with the mosque and with the madrasa. On behalf of MUIS, I'd like to thank all our great friends of Harmony Center, all the esteemed religious leaders for the great support that they have given to the Harmony Center since it started functioning about 5 years ago. Without your support and your participation, I don't think Harmony Center can be where it is today. And we really look forward to your continued support as we embark on the next phase of the Harmony Center. Now, tonight's event is a very significant one. We are launching the Maulana Abdul Alim Siddiqui Memorial Lecture. I am glad to see so many of you here tonight, and thank you again for your generosity in giving your time and to put time to attend this lecture. Now, this Abdul Alim Siddiqui lecture is a new program, a new content-based program that Harmony Center will introduce and will do more content-based programs in the coming years. This Abdul Alim Siddiqui lecture is a platform where we try to deepen interfaith engagement, interfaith discussion. We select topics or themes which are of common interest to to every faith group. And these are issues of common humanity, touching on many aspects of life, be it the environment, be it peace building, be it alleviation of poverty. And we hope that with the lecture, it is also an opportunity for the participants to bring forth their perspectives from their respective faith or persuasions. We really hope that this Abdul Alim Siddiqui Memorial Lecture will be a good opportunity for people to understand the thinking and perspectives of each faith as it relates to contemporary issues. Now, for those who may not be familiar with Abdul Alim Siddiqui, there will be a short video clip to present his life and his contributions. He was one of the pioneers of the Singapore Muslim community. Very active in the Singapore Muslim community in the 30s. He was one of the founding members of Jamia, very active in promoting goodwill amongst the various religious communities. And in 1949, he founded the Inter-Religious Organization, or IRO. And I did mention just now that IRO is an iconic organization that provides a harmonious platform where various faith communities forge bonds of togetherness. Now, and in this auditorium, I see many young people, and this is precisely what we hope to do, is to try to involve more young people in the interfaith work, interfaith dialogue, interfaith engagement. In fact, a primary target group for the Abdul Alim Siddiqui lecture are the young people. So thank you very much. I see many young people here, and I see also the others, not old, but they're not so young. So we hope the younger generation can continue and preserve this legacy of the superb work that is being done and will be done by the most senior leaders in the various faith communities. Tonight, our Mufti of Singapore, Sahibul Samaha, Dr. Fatris Bakaram, will be the inaugural speaker. And we're delighted to have Mr. Ashwin Desai from the Jain Society, and he's currently the president of IRO to chair the lecture tonight. And we hope that these lectures will be an annual affair. We hope to try to do it in the month of July. That's the Racial Harmony Month. And we hope to have the apex leaders from the other faith communities to be the lecturers, or the one who deliver the lecture. And the chairman of the session will be someone from a different faith community. So this is how we want to arrange the Abdul Alim Siddiqui Memorial Lecture. And we hope that the lecture will be documented, and the discussion and the Q&A will also be documented as a document that all of us can own and can keep for our reference. So with that, I'm very happy that all of us came here tonight to hear Sahibul Samaha Mufti to deliver the lecture, which he has chosen the topic of religion, source of strength in a challenging world. So on that note, I'd like to hand over the session to Ustad Iza. With that, wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and thank you very much.
Thank you, President, for the address. Ladies and gentlemen, today marks the 5th year of the birth of the Harmony Center, an interfaith initiative by the Islamic Religious Council of Singapore, MUIS, to celebrate diversity and increase awareness and understanding on each other's religions, so as to achieve a peaceful coexistence that will contribute to the well-being of our nation. The Abdul Alim Siddiqui Memorial Lecture is yet another milestone in Harmony Center's effort to strengthen harmony and understanding. To know more about Abdul Alim Siddiqui, or better known as Maulana Abdul Alim Siddiqui, we have prepared for you a short video presentation to introduce the man and his life passion. Ladies and gentlemen, do sit back and enjoy this presentation.
Born on 3rd April 1892 in Meerut, India, Maulana Abdul Alim Siddiqui is a descendant of the companion of the Prophet. Maulana was an exceptionally intelligent child, memorizing the Holy Quran at the age of 4 and earning a degree and distinctions in Islamic theology at 16. He then pursued further studies in law, modern and Islamic sciences. Having lived through political and religious strife in his homeland, Maulana traveled the world for 40 years, preaching the peaceful message of Islam and advocating interreligious harmony across the Americas, Africa, and Asia. As a prolific writer, orator, and scholar, Maulana delivered hundreds of lectures, wrote books and poetry, and was renowned for his spiritual guidance and message of hope and peace. Maulana came to Singapore in 1930. Many people were drawn to Islam through his charismatic leadership and the establishments he helped set up, such as the All Malaya Muslim Missionary Society, now known as Jamia, one of the foremost organizations that pioneered interfaith work. In 1949, Maulana Abdul Alim Siddiqui, together with other religious leaders and British Commissioner General Sir Malcolm MacDonald, founded the interreligious organization to foster greater understanding and peace among faiths.
I met him in late 1950 and 1951, and he was instrumental in formation of the interreligious organization. Mr. George Thompson from the British Information Service was helping them to recruit all the other faiths to come in. As a group, we try to give talks to the people, and we try to bring in the harmonizing among all the religions, and this is where Maulana Abdul Alim Siddiqui played a very influential role, especially supported by Mr. Malcolm MacDonald at that time.
Wherever he went, Maulana's devotion to Islam and humanity impacted countless lives and inspired the establishment of schools, hospitals, orphanages, social and religious institutions, such as the Abdul Alim Siddiqui Mosque in Singapore. His extraordinary dedication illustrates the potential that one person can have in forging one humanity.
Ladies and gentlemen, I believe the video presentation has touched our hearts and inspired us to follow the footsteps and to build on the legacy that has been left by Maulana Abdul Alim Siddiqui. With that, it is my pleasure now to begin the proceedings for tonight's lecture by inviting the chairperson, Mr. Ashvin Desai, on stage, together with our distinguished speaker for tonight, Sahibus Samaha, Dr. Muhammad Fatris Bakaram, to deliver the inaugural Abdul Alim Siddiqui Memorial Lecture entitled Religion, Source of Strength in a Challenged World. Gentlemen, please be on stage. To introduce the topic for tonight, as well as introduce our distinguished speaker, is Mr. Ashwin Desai, the President of IRO. I now pass the session to Mr. Ashwin. Mr. Ashwin, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good evening to all of you. Thank you for giving me the honor of actually moderating this very first lecture under this new Abdul Alim Siddiq Memorial Lecture Series. It's very apt because Abdul Alim Siddiq was instrumental, or we can say one of the founders of the interreligious organization in Singapore. And it is a great honor that we as a president comes here to lead this very first lecture. Anyway, I don't think you all are here to listen to me. We have a great distinguished speaker next to me, Dr. Muhammad Fatris Makaram, the new Mufti of Singapore. I actually had the honor of meeting Dr. Fatris before he became a Mufti. I think it was last year during the Taoist Federation Interfaith Dinner in December last year. And he was going to become the Mufti on the 1st of January, and asked him, how do you feel? And I was, our old Mufti, I would like to call him, was already sort of well known, and he's been a Mufti for so long that, you know, I think he was a challenge for the new Mufti to fill his shoes. But I think it is very appropriate that we have him as our first speaker. He is what many call a young Mufti. Okay, and I think as what our MC and what Alami has said, this lecture is meant for the young. So I'm not going to give a long introduction on Dr. Fatris. It is all up there. But a little bit on the topic that we're talking about, the religion as a source of strength in a challenging world. It is a very appropriate topic. I don't think it should be seen as a topic from any particular faith. I think it is a topic that challenges all faiths into it. And as I was just talking to Dr. Fatri, this is something forward-looking. We are not looking at what has happened in the past, or maybe even the present, but what are the problems or what are the challenges we have looking forward. So this is meant for the young, and including people like me, all the young at heart still, okay? So we want to make this lecture series not a boring session where Dr. Fajri speaks and, you know, it should be a two-way process, okay? So we will hear the kind words of Dr. Fajri, and then we would like to open it up to the floor, and we want it to be a two-way process, okay? So without further ado, let me invite Dr. Fajri to give a lecture.
Kind and beautiful words in introducing me. Mr. Haji Muhammad Alami Musa, President of MUIS, distinguished faith leaders, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and a very good evening to all. It is common practice that when we are to discuss any particular issue, we begin by first examining its definition. Only when a clear definition is arrived at, that particular issue and matters related to it can be duly and effectively discussed. However, my talk this evening revolves around religion. And as we all know, that religion is not an easy term to be defined. Max Weber himself is widely known to have refused to give religion a clear definition, while we all know that he himself has written extensively on religion. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, religion is a subject matter so elusive and so complex that some scholars of religion today are having doubts whether religion or religions can be studied at all. Therefore, I wouldn't want to suggest any definition of religion in my talk this evening, but I believe that as people of faith, every one of us present today in this auditorium has a common trait in our understanding of the concept of religion, even though we profess different religions. Now, the various different religions share the goal of tying people back to something behind and beyond the surface of life, a greater reality which lies beyond the world that we can perceive with our five senses. And if we analyze the various existing religions, ladies and gentlemen, we shall discover that generally every religion comprises of a number of dimensions. There is the doctrinal and philosophical dimension. There is the ritual dimension of religion, conducted either in private or in public. There is the emotional and spiritual experience dimension of religion. There is the legal dimension, which encompasses rules that govern human behavior. There is also the institutional and social dimension of religion, and the physical dimension of symbols and places that manifest the sacred. In all this, ladies and gentlemen, spirituality stands out as the religious realm which adherents of all faiths strive to nurture and enhance. Anyone who claims to be religious cannot escape the conviction that spiritual purity and spiritual well-being is the foundation of religious life. Anyone who claims to be a person of faith cannot be truly a person of faith if he does not embark on a journey to uplift and reinvigorate his spirituality. This is done with the intention to achieve the highest degree of inner peace and serenity. For people of faith, such is the peak of happiness, for it illuminates the enlightenment of understanding one's self, his being, his world, his environment, and his purpose in life. Such is the significance of spirituality when we talk about religion, to the extent that a failed spirituality is taken as a human trepidation that all people of religion are terrified of. However, unfortunately, there are still some who associate religious spirituality with human inclination to escape from the realities of life. That, as they claim, what religion provides to offer human societies is no more than an opening for the spiritual and emotional dwarfs to renegade from facing life challenges. How true is this? Ladies and gentlemen, every religious person living in this contemporary world of countless uncertainties and tremendous challenges facing humanity and the whole world even, every person of faith, I believe, will concur that this is the time and this is the age where spiritual resilience is most needed by the whole of humanity. Environmental issues, social and political instabilities, financial crisis, moral decadence are but some of the challenges of modernity that man cannot afford to ignore. But let us take a look around. at the various religious movements that sprung up like mushrooms, not only in our local scene, but also in every corner of the globe. Correct me if I'm wrong, ladies and gentlemen, but these religious movements are far from propagating escapism and cowardice. These religious movements, whether they are of the Abrahamic faiths, whether they are of the Asian and Oriental origins, or whether they are the indigenous sacred ways, all are vigorously into social activism never seen before in the history of religions. Yes, religious spirituality is primarily meant to achieve enlightenment via inner peace, but it is not a form of escapism. Rather, such an enlightenment provides an avenue for men to gain inner strength needed to face challenges in life. Faith nurtures emotional peace and mental calmness that enable man to continue his journey across turbulent paths, while at the same time fans his spiritual flame to face challenges with confidence and with great courage. Religion does not drive men to run away from facing challenges. Instead, religion provides a moral compass which guides man in his journey towards attaining truth and towards establishing goodness. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, for the faithful, it is his religious beliefs that leads him towards a meaningful life, not abandoning the world while anticipating the day he meets God after death. Ladies and gentlemen, indeed, religion has a lot to offer in leading humanity out of this confusion in this challenging world of today. The issue is, and the question is, so what is stopping religion from taking its place as the antidote needed by the occupants of this modern world we are living in? I reckon that people of different religions are not offering what we have, the source of spiritual, intellectual, and emotional strength that we hold in our hands. We are not offering this in a common voice. We are still seeing only divine and sacred walls all around us, separating us. For me, ladies and gentlemen, religions are like houses where their respective occupants choose which they want to reside in, taking shelter from the burning heat of the sun, from the wetness of the rain, and from other elements of the weather. But there are windows for us to look at occupants of the other neighboring houses. And there are doors in our houses